This sacred evening, it is time to invoke the timeless tradition that symbolizes purity, knowledge, and triumph of light over darkness. I now request our esteemed dignitaries to kindly proceed for lighting the traditional lamp. अंधारातून प्रकाशाकडे, अज्ञानातून ज्ञानाकडे आणि असंतोषातून शांततेकडे घेऊन जाणारी ही ज्योत आपल्याला केवळ प्रकाश देत नसून तो विचारांचा, संस्कारांचा आणि मानवतेचा एक फार मोठा संदेश आहे. May this sacred flame, let's give a big round of applause, my friends, as the 30th Philosopher Saint Shree Dnyaneshwara and Saint Shree Tukaram Endowment Lecture Series and Orientation Program 2025 has formally been inaugurated by lighting this traditional lamp. Let us pray to the Almighty that this sacred flame bless today's gathering with wisdom, harmony, and spiritual clarity. A round of applause once again as dignitaries are joining hands for a special photograph. I request all the dignitaries to kindly grace the stage by their presence. I request all the dignitaries to kindly accept the chairs. Esteemed colleagues, it is indeed my honor and privilege to welcome each one of you for the inaugural session of 30th Philosopher Saint Shree Dnyaneshwara and Saint Shree Tukaram Endowment Lecture Series and Orientation Program 2025. My friends, it is an extremely important part of tradition of our institution that we all gather annually for this orientation program. And this is the 30th edition of this gathering. Before we go any further, my friends, as you're aware of the tradition, as we stand on the foundation of peace envisioned by Saint Shree Dnyaneshwara and Saint Shree Tukaram Maharaj, it is now time that we join our minds and our hearts in the universal invocation of harmony. MIT World Peace University has always believed that the true education must be rooted in peace, compassion, and human unity. And nothing reflects this more beautifully than the World Peace Prayer. जगातल्या सर्व प्राणीमात्रांच्या कल्याणासाठी, शांततेसाठी, सौहार्दाची कामना करत आपण आता विश्वशांती प्रार्थनेत सम्मिलित होऊया. मी सर्वांना बसल्या जागीच विनंती करतो. I request everyone to remain seated, but fold their hands, close their eyes, bring the image of their mother, father, their deity in front of their eyes, and wholeheartedly participate in World Peace Prayer. Thank you. Distinguished dignitaries, respected guests, and dear members of the family of MIT World Peace University. Once again, a very warm and respectful welcome to all of you to the inaugural session of 30th Shree Dnyaneshwara and Shree Tukaram Endowment Lecture Series. My friends, it has been 3 decades that this platform has carried forward the immortal wisdom of Shree Dnyaneshwara Maharaj and Saint Tukaram Maharaj, bringing together the luminaries who guided society through their knowledge, compassion, and visionary leadership. आजचा हा सोहळा केवळ उद्घाटन कार्यक्रम नाही, तर मानवतेला योग्य दिशादर्शन देणाऱ्या ज्ञान परंपरेचा एक महत्त्वाचा टप्पा आहे. MIT वर्ल्ड पीस युनिव्हर्सिटीच्या शांती, विज्ञान आणि अध्यात्म या तत्वज्ञानाची ही व्याख्यानमाला वर्षानुवर्ष साथ देत आलेला आहे. As we embark upon this year's journey filled with thought-provoking ideas, path-breaking insights, and spiritual elevation, I humbly invite all of you to remain committed to this program for next couple of days, open our minds, and be receptive at our hearts. Dear friends, it has been 3 long decades of this platform. आणि मी सांगू इच्छितो की या व्याख्यानमालेच्या या 30 वर्षांच्या प्रवास, विचार, अध्यात्म आणि समाज जागृतीचा मार्ग जो उज्ज्वल केला गेला, त्याच्या पाऊलखुणा आपल्या सर्वांसमोर ठेवण्यासाठी मी निमंत्रित करतो Associate Dean of Department of Peace Studies at MIT World Peace University, Professor Milind Patre.
Thank you, Gautam. Revered Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir, respected guest on the dais, 24th November 1996, 30 years down the line, and the first World Philosophers Meet was held here. It was a sort of parliament of science, religion, and philosophy. So 30 years down the line, the first mega event was conducted here in the same Dnyaneshwara Hall. 700 delegates that time from across the world, 47 countries. If I name the countries like USA, UK, France, Canada, Russia, China, and so on and so forth, Israel. So these 47 countries and from India, 700 delegates participated from 24th of November 1996, the very same day today, 24th of November 2025. And there are many outcomes of this first World Philosophers Meet, but one of the immediate outcome of that meet was the establishment of World Peace Center Alandi on 1st of December 1996. Many staff, faculty members in MIT World Peace University think that there are so many events like interfaith dialogues, Parliament of Science, Religion, Philosophy, Endowment Lecture Series. They keep happening in MIT and MIT World Peace University. It was because in that World Philosophers Meet in 1996, the World Philosopher Meet mandated MITES MIT Pune that through World Peace Center Alandi, they need to conduct many programs for elevating the consciousness of the people, for establishing a culture of peace in the world, harmony, interfaith dialogue. And from that thread, 30 long years, this yagya is going on. First it was an event, now we can call it as a yagya. Yagya means you pour yourself into it. You destroy your ego into it. Probably many faculty, staff, we need to think that why people like revered Professor Dr. Karad sir venture upon this type of journey. And the only answer, if you go deep into your heart, can be found in compassion. Compassion means love in action. They feel love. They feel that they have a duty to perform. They see the whole landscape, geopolitical things happening in the society, and they want to pour themselves. They want to offer themselves. That's why we call it as a yagya, ahuti. And so, I think here everyone need to ask this question, that how many universities in the world can venture for such type of things, 30 long years, every year in and out, 7 days, from morning 7 o'clock to evening 7 o'clock, 12 hours. I heard Dr. Sanjay Upadhyay speaking many times about, in Marathi, we call it as Diwali Nantarchi Diwali. In that Diwali, we enjoy with the physical food. In this Diwali, we enjoy our mind and soul with the spiritual food. That's how significant this whole thing is. So these 30 long years, we have witnessed many, many galaxies. If we just go into the timeline, a few names just come to our mind that such type of people, they grace this event. In 1997, it was Honorable Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi. In 1999, none other than the former Prime Minister of India, Honorable Shri Indra Kumar Gujral. 2006, renowned spiritual guru, late Honorable Dr. Vaman Rao Pai. 2007, none other than former President of India, late Honorable Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. 2013, Honorable Dr. Prakash Amte and Mandata Amteji. 2016, none other than Honorable Dr. Arif Muhammad Khan. 2020, the spiritual master, Honorable Shri Kamlesh Ji Patel, or lovingly, affectionately called as Daji. 21, Honorable Shri Bhagat Singh Koshyari Ji, and the list goes on. So I think the name reflects what kind of program this is, what type of thing this is. Sir always talks about that I want a student when he goes back from this institution will have basic attributes in his overall character traits, personality, that he should be physically fit, he or she should be mentally alert, intellectually sharp, and spiritually elevated. And that's why the whole schedule is kept in such a way that it nourishes our body, our mind, our heart, as well as our soul. And so I just want to say that with this work, relentless work for establishing a culture of peace in the world, and how to establish a culture of peace in the world through educational institution, by blending the appropriate component of science and the appropriate component of spirituality. And because of such type of work, UNESCO Paris bestowed upon revered Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir, UNESCO Chair for Human Rights, Democracy and Peace, on 12th of May 1998, one of the oldest UNESCO chair in India and Pan-Asia. I think he deserves a huge round of applause for this great achievement. Many times when the people are around us, we think, in a way, sort of taken for granted. But how lucky and how fortunate are we to have a visionary educationist, a proponent of peace, an octogenarian like Professor Dr. Karad sir within us, from whom we can learn. The way he walks, the way he speaks, the way he responds, the way he even remains quiet. It's not always that through words we listen and understand and learn. Most of the times, the greatest messages in the life is understood only through silence. But for that, we need to be capable of understanding silence. So I think his whole journey is absolutely, we are witnessing that. I don't think there can be any great fortune for all of us that we are still, with revered Karad sir, we are witnessing those events and we can see these things. And definitely it will touch the every fabric of our life. Just to conclude, this year's endowment lecture series, the 30th, is also having a distinguished plethora of speakers. One thing I just forgot to tell you is that why 700 delegates were invited in that World Philosopher Meet in 1996, because it was the 700th Sanjivan Samadhi Sohla of Sant Gyaneshwar Mauli. So to commemorate that, there were 700 delegates. So of course, this year also we have galaxy of the speakers, to begin with Dr. Sanjay Upadhyay, and then from the Kolkata Omkarnath Mission, Honorable Kinkar Vitthal Ramanuj. Then we have Honorable Swami Krishna Chaitanya ji. I'm just taking few names. All of you have heard, we have grown up seeing the Mahabharat and the Bhishma Pitamaha of Mahabharat, or many young people know about Shaktiman. So Shri Mukesh Khanna ji will be coming tomorrow, day after tomorrow of course. Professor Arvind Nathu, he is a chairman of the Board of Governors of 4 ISSR. Then we have the person to whom we have heard and we have been singing those songs from last 25 years. A person who has entered his name in Guinness Book of World Record for writing 5,000 Bollywood songs in 500 plus films. That Samir Anjan ji is coming on 27th. Honorable Sri Kashinath Devdar ji, Senior Scientist DRDO. From Gujarat, Param Pujya Swami Savitanand ji. Honorable Upal Lokayukta of Maharashtra, Dr. Sanjay Bhatia ji, IAS. Professor Nitin Bangude Patil ji, and a plethora. So friends, I just want to appeal that let us make the best of this spiritual Diwali. Let us savor our heart, mind and soul with all this feasting, and let us enrich ourselves. And we really can't stop thanking Dr. Karad sir for this opportunity. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for taking us back the memory lane. And I would say, taking a quick recap of the last 3 decades. Thank you very much for that. But of course, the words are important, but I would say the video is a better help. I would take this moment to share with you the journey of this endowment lecture series through a small video. I request my technical team to kindly relay.
तत्वज्ञ संत श्री ज्ञानेश्वर माऊली आणि जगद्गुरु संत श्री तुकाराम महाराज, संपूर्ण जगाच्या संत परंपरेतील महानतम अशी नाव. संत श्री ज्ञानेश्वर महाराजांनी 13व्या शतकामध्ये वयाच्या 16व्या वर्षी श्रीमद भगवत गीतेवर आधारित 700 श्लोक आणि 9033 ओव्यांची ज्ञानेश्वरी लिहिली. संत श्री तुकाराम महाराजांनी प्राचीन पुराण उपनिषदांवर आधारित ग्रंथ लिहिला. या दोन्ही ग्रंथांमध्ये संपूर्ण सृष्टीतील मानव जातीच्या कल्याणासाठी त्यांनी ज्ञानोमय, विज्ञानोमय तत्वज्ञान, अध्यात्म आणि विश्वशांतीसाठीचे आपले विचार मांडले. भारताचे थोर सुपुत्र स्वामी विवेकानंद म्हणाले होते, विज्ञान आणि अध्यात्माच्या समन्वयातूनच जगात शांतता नांदे. हेच विचार लोकांपर्यंत पोहोचवण्यासाठी संत ज्ञानेश्वर, संत तुकाराम आणि स्वामी विवेकानंदांचे पाईक, शिक्षण तज्ञ, विश्वधर्मी, समाजसेवी प्राध्यापक डॉक्टर विश्वनाथ दा कराड यांच्या संकल्पनेनं मानवी आणि आध्यात्मिक मूल्यांचं संवर्धन करण्याच्या उद्देशानं संत श्री ज्ञानेश्वर, संत श्री तुकाराम स्मृती व्याख्यानमालेची सुरुवात करण्यात आली.
You know that the endowment lecture which we have started in the name of Dnyaneshwara and Tukaram as great philosophers, the philosophers must come out from their shell and they should come to the society and guide them.
शिवाजी साक्षीपतला तसं प्लॅनिंग आहे, क्वालिटी आहे, एफिशियन्सी आहे, तसं त्यांची जी वेळेच्या बाबतीतली पंक्च्युअलिटी इतकी विलक्षण आहे की आपणही थकवावं.
फुलांच्या पायघड्यावरून चालताना काटे बोचले तर सहन करा. फुलांच्या पायघड्यावरून चालताना काटे बोचले तर सहन करा, कारण काट्यांना फक्त बोचणंच माहिती असतं.
आपण काय पेरतो आपल्या वासरांच्या प्रमाणे त्याप्रमाणे आपल्याला मिळणारी फळं असतात. यातलं देवानं काहीही दिलेलं नसतं आणि काहीही आपल्याकडनं हिरावलेलं नसतं.
या संस्थेचा नेहमी कणा एक राहायला कराड सरांनी एकच भावना व्यक्त केली. हा जो टीचर काँग्रेसचा आपण इथं उपक्रम पाहताय की आपल्या शिक्षकांच्या माध्यमातून असे विद्यार्थी आम्ही टेक्नोक्रॅट्स बनवू, मॅनेजर बनवू, सगळ्या फील्ड मधले एक्सपर्ट बनवू, पण कसे? शेवटी ज्यांचं अंतःकरण म्हणजे स्पिरिच्युअलिटी, त्यांचं कम्पॅशन, त्यांचं माइंड, ह्याचा कुठेतरी समन्वय असला पाहिजे. ही जी संत ज्ञानेश्वरा तुकाराम स्मृती व्याख्यानमाला जी कराड सरांनी सुरू केली सर, अतिशय रिजिड असं फाउंडेशन, त्याच्यामुळे अतिशय स्ट्रॉंग असं फाउंडेशन आमचं सगळ्या शिक्षकांचं. खऱ्या अर्थाने आपलं सगळं धार्मिक जे काही ज्या गोष्टींना सायन्सचा कसा बेस आहे हे अतिशय कणखरपणाने सांगणाऱ्या अतिशय भारतातल्या तुरळक लोकांपेक्षा एक कराड सर आहेत असं मला वाटतं.
ओम आणि योग साधना ही भारतानं जगाला दिलेली पवित्र वैज्ञानिक स्वरूपाची देणगी आहे. या व्याख्यानमालेमध्ये मायर्स MIT संकुलातील शिक्षक शिक्षकेतर कर्मचाऱ्यांसाठी योगासन वर्ग आयोजित करणारी मायर्स MIT पुणे ही एकमेव शैक्षणिक संस्था आहे. संत श्री ज्ञानेश्वर आणि तुकाराम महाराजांचे विचार हे काळाच्या पुढचे होते. ते एक प्रगत वैज्ञानिक, समाज सुधारक आणि तत्वचिंतक होते. त्यांनी ज्ञान विज्ञानाधिष्ठित मूलतत्वांचा विचार जगासमोर मांडला आणि हीच गोष्ट जगविख्यात शास्त्रज्ञ अल्बर्ट आइन्स्टाईननं जगासमोर मांडली. संत ज्ञानेश्वर ते अल्बर्ट आइन्स्टाईन असा हा प्रवास आहे. त्यामुळे सत्याचा शोध, ज्ञानाचं दर्शन आणि ईश्वर हेच सत्य आहे अशा प्रकारचं ज्ञान विज्ञान आणि अध्यात्म अधिष्ठित तत्वज्ञान अशा प्रकारच्या व्याख्यानमालेमुळे लोकांपर्यंत पोहोचवून या तत्वज्ञानाचं लोक कल्याणासाठी संवर्धन करण्यास मदत मिळेल असा आम्हाला दृढ विश्वास वाटतो.
My friends, let's give a big round of applause to this celebration of last 3 decades. And my friends, for last 3 decades, for last 30 years, we have been creating and following many, many important traditions. One of the, I would say, recently added tradition, yet a very, very value-adding tradition, is a small snippet of thoughts which is given to us at the beginning of every session of Endowment Lecture Series. Now we have come to a special part of every session of Endowment Lecture Series, the thought-provoking part, I would say. Think it over, Niti Ki Laghu Kahaniya, a segment that blends insight with storytelling, reflection with wisdom. आजच्या या शांतिमय संध्याकाळमध्ये विचारांना एक नवी दिशा मिळावी म्हणून हा क्षण आपल्या सर्वांसाठीच अतिशय महत्त्वाचा ठरेल. These insights would be in every session, they would be led by a distinguished media personality who's with us, Dr. Mukesh Sharma ji, the former Director General of Film Division, former Additional Director General of Doordarshan, and right now he is with us, the CEO of Vishwa Shanti Darshan Channel at MIT World Peace University. Today's Niti Ki Laghu Kahani is Aam Ka Ped. I request my team to relay so that we can all enjoy and try and absorb the message of the film.
हमारा देश कहानियों का देश है. आदिकाल से अनादिकाल से हम कहानियां सुनते आ रहे हैं. और वो कहानियां हमारे हृदय में प्रवेश कर जाती हैं जिनका अंदाज निराला हो और जिसमें कहने वाला कुछ ऐसा भी कह जाए जिससे आपका भला होने वाला हो। तो मैं बधाई देता हूं मुकेश शर्मा को, प्रिय मुकेश शर्मा को। मैं कामना करता हूं कि ये सिलसिला अनंत काल तक जारी रहे, क्योंकि इंटरनेट पर कोई चीज मरती नहीं है और हम अनंत काल तक भारतवासी और विश्व के नागरिक सुनते रहें। इन कहानियों में जीवन मूल्य हैं जो उपदेश की तरह नहीं आते, वो एक सार आपको जीवन का मर्म दे जाते हैं, आपको नेशनली एक्लेम्ड वैल्यूज से रूबरू कराते हैं और जिनका अंदाज के कारण कुछ ऐसा गहरा प्रभाव होता है कि वो चाहे किसी भी विषय की कहानियां हो, सौंदर्य से जुड़ी हुई, हमारे मनोविज्ञान से जुड़ी हुई या ज्ञान विज्ञान की, हम उनसे कुछ न कुछ प्राप्त करते हैं। बहुत 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 शुभकामनाएं मुकेश।
एक बाग में एक घना आम का पेड़ था। उस पेड़ के पास एक बच्चा नियमित रूप से आता था। उसे वो आम का पेड़ बहुत पसंद था। जब भी फुर्सत मिलती वो आम के पेड़ के पास पहुंच जाता, पेड़ के ऊपर चढ़ता, आम खाता, खिलता और थक जाने के बाद उसी की छाया में सो जाता था। उस बच्चे और आम के पेड़ के बीच एक अनोखा रिश्ता बन गया था। लेकिन जैसे जैसे बच्चा बड़ा होता गया वैसे वैसे उसने पेड़ के पास आना कम कर दिया और थोड़े समय के बाद तो उसका आना बिल्कुल ही बंद हो गया। आम का पेड़ उस बालक को याद करके अकेला रोता था। एक दिन अचानक पेड़ ने उस बालक को अपनी तरफ आते हुए देखा। वो खुश हो गया। जैसे ही वो पेड़ के पास पहुंचा तो पेड़ ने कहा, तू कहां चला गया था? मैं रोज तुम्हें याद किया करता था। चलो आज फिर हम दोनों खेलते हैं। बच्चे ने आम के पेड़ से कहा, अब मेरे खेलने की उम्र नहीं है, मुझे पढ़ना है, लेकिन मेरे पास फीस भरने के लिए पैसे नहीं है। पेड़ ने कहा, तू मेरे आम लेकर बाजार में बेच दे, इससे जो पैसे मिलेंगे अपनी फीस भर देना। उस बच्चे ने आम के पेड़ के सारे आम तोड़ लिए और सबको लेकर वहां से चला गया। उसके बाद फिर कभी दिखाई नहीं दिया। आम का पेड़ रोज उसकी राह देखता था। एक दिन वो लड़का फिर पेड़ के पास आया। अब वो जवान हो चुका था। उसने पेड़ से कहा, मुझे अब नौकरी मिल गई है, मेरी शादी हो चुकी है, मुझे अपना घर बनाना है, मगर मेरे पास पैसे नहीं है। आम के पेड़ ने कहा, बस इतनी सी बात है, तू मेरी सभी डाली को काट कर ले जा, उससे अपना घर बना ले। उस नौजवान ने पेड़ की सभी डाली काट ली और लेके चला गया। आम के पेड़ के पास अब कुछ नहीं बचा था। अब वो बिल्कुल ठूंठ हो गया था, कोई उसे देखता भी नहीं था। पेड़ ने भी अब उस नौजवान के आने की उम्मीद छोड़ दी थी। और फिर एक दिन अचानक वहां एक बूढ़ा आदमी आया। उसने आम के पेड़ से कहा, शायद तुमने मुझे नहीं पहचाना, मैं वही बालक हूं जो बार बार तुम्हारे पास आता था और तुमने हमेशा मेरी मदद की। आम के पेड़ ने दुखी होकर कहा, पर बेटा मेरे पास अब ऐसा कुछ भी तो नहीं जो मैं तुम्हें दे सकूं। वृद्ध ने आंखों में आंसू लाकर कहा, आज मैं तुम्हें कुछ लेने नहीं आया हूं तुमसे, बल्कि आज मैं तुम्हारे साथ एक बार फिर जी भर के खेलना चाहता हूं, तुम्हारी गोद में सरक कर सो जाना चाहता हूं। इतना कहकर वो आम के पेड़ से लिपट गया और आम के पेड़ की सूखी हुई डाली फिर से अंकुरित हो उठी। कहानी खत्म। देखें क्या मार्मिक सीख दे गई ये अनोखी कहानी। यही कि वो आम का पेड़ और कोई नहीं बल्कि हमारे माता पिता हैं। जब हम छोटे थे तो उनके साथ खेलना अच्छा लगता था। जैसे जैसे हम बड़े होते चले गए उनसे दूर होते गए। उनके पास भी हम तभी आए जब हमें उनकी जरूरत पड़ी, कोई हमारी समस्या खड़ी हुई। आज कई माँ बाप उस बंजर पेड़ की तरह, उस ठूंठ की तरह अपने बच्चे की राह देख रहे हैं। जाकर उनसे लिपटिए, उनके गले लग जाइए। वृद्धावस्था में उनका जीवन शायद फिर से अंकुरित हो उठे।
I'm sure this story would have given a important insight. And please be rest assured that such intuitive and interesting stories would be shared throughout every session of this endowment lecture series. My friends, now I would like to invite on stage our Honorable Vice Chancellor of MIT World Peace University, Dr. R.M. Chitnis sir, to kindly propose the welcome address.
Thank you, Dr. Bapat. Good evening to all esteemed guests, faculty members, staff of MICE, MIT Group of Institutions, On behalf of our founder president, Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir, on behalf of our executive president, Dr. Rahul Karad sir, executive president, Dr. Mangesh Karad sir, and on behalf of all the trustee members, faculty members, students, administration staff, may I extend a warm welcome to Honorable Padma Shri Pramod Kale sir, former Director, Space Applications Center of ISRO, Ahmedabad. He is also Director, Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, ISRO. And we also welcome Honorable Dr. C.K. Bharadwaj ji, a renowned researcher, renowned author, and renowned spiritual scientist from New Delhi. A round of applause for Bharadwaj sir. This lecture series has been named after two great names, Saint Dnyaneshwara and Saint Tukaram, who were not only the proponents of humanity, peace, and harmony, but were great thinkers and philosophers of their times and even today. Their teachings on philosophy hold true even today as universal truth beyond the narrow boundaries of caste, color, religion, creed, faith, or even nation. The annual endowment lecture series, which is a part of UNESCO Chair Program for Human Rights, Democracy and Peace, takes place every year from 24th to 30th November. And this is the 30th year of this lecture series. This orientation program also, through this, we aim to strengthen our collective responsibility given by Dr. Karad sir. We aim to strengthen our collective responsibility. We also strengthen and imbibe and propagate the values for peace, values for mutual respect to each other, and inclusivity. These principles that are essential not only for education, but also to progress of humanity itself. This program, orientation or lecture series, starts by yoga practice every day in the morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Wonderful, harmonious mixture of yoga practice and then lecture series. This lecture series reinforces our university's commitment to fostering a culture of peace, transcending barriers of language, faith, and geography. It also reaffirms our dedication to transforming education into means of societal harmony and global understanding. Let's use this opportunity to reflect on the timeless wisdom of our philosophers, saints, and scientists, to enrich our understanding and translate these learnings into actionable initiatives for betterment of ourselves and the world beyond. In this next 7 days of this lecture series, we will get immersed in the thoughtful and enlightening discourses of our esteemed speakers who are authorities on varied subjects leading to the same path of peace and harmony in the entire world. And the same path of peace, of universal brotherhood and life transformation through value-based education forms the founding principles of our institution, which carries a glorious legacy of 4 decades for imparting holistic education to every aspiring student to become a responsible citizen of our great nation Bharat, and also a responsible human being of this great world, Prithvi. This path started by revered Professor Dr. Karad sir for all of us and continuing for last 30 years. Hence, may I request all of you to give not only round of applause but express our gratitude by standing ovation to revered Professor Dr. Karad sir. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Vande Mataram.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And it is indeed our good fortune that we have the presence of our Preranalaya revered Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir, who has been guiding us for last 3 decades in this endowment lecture series. My friends, it is now my honor and privilege to request him to kindly felicitate and welcome the dignitaries on the dais. First and foremost, I would like to request him to kindly felicitate and welcome the Honorable Padma Shri Dr. Pramod Kaleji, former Directors, Space Appliance Application Center, ISRO Ahmedabad, former Director Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. It is indeed our good fortune that we have the presence of Dr. Pramod Kaleji. Let's welcome him with a big round of applause, my friends. A big round of applause as we welcome Honorable Padma Shri Dr. Pramod Kaleji. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your presence here today. A round of applause once again for Padma Shri Dr. Pramod Kaleji. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I now request sir to kindly felicitate and welcome the second important guest with us today, Honorable Dr. C.K. Bharadwaj, renowned author, researcher and spiritual scientist. A big round of applause, my friends, for Honorable Dr. C.K. Bharadwaj. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. A big round of applause. Thank you, sir. My friends, as we all are aware that the Endowment Lecture Series and Orientation Program has always been an important event of our academic year. And we have always seen the presence of Dr. Mangesh Karad sir, Dr. Rahul Karad sir, along with revered Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir on this stage of Endowment Lecture Series. Today we are fortunate to have the presence of Honorable Dr. Mangesh Karad sir. Dr. Rahul Karad sir was also scheduled to be here today, but as you all are aware that last few months he has completely immersed himself into the development, I would say speedy development of Life Transformation Center and the MIT World Peace University Goa. So even right now he is traveling, but tomorrow morning onwards he will be with us in this 30th Endowment Lecture Series. My friends, it is now indeed my honor and privilege to introduce you to our first special guest of honor of this evening, the renowned author, researcher and spiritual scientist from New Delhi, Honorable Dr. C.K. Bharadwaj. My friends, Honorable Dr. C.K. Bharadwaj is an internationally recognized author, researcher and spiritual scientist, known for his pioneering contributions in the field of spiritual education. With a PhD in intercultural studies and comparative culture, he is the founder of Jnanam and S for Seed organizations committed to creating systemic, value-based and holistic educational frameworks. ते अध्यात्म आणि विज्ञान यांचा सुंदर संगम घडवत राईट टू एनलाइटमेंट हा मानवाचा मूलभूत अधिकार असावा ही संकल्पना जगभर प्रस्थापित करण्यासाठी सातत्यानं प्रयत्न करत आहेत. Dr. Bharadwaj has collaborated with global institutions such as UNESCO, CBSE, and has lectured at MIT, Cambridge, and several leading world universities. He is also a life mentor of the World Associate of Spiritual Sciences, WASS, dedicated to the cause of sustainable human transformation. With great respect, I would like to invite Honorable Dr. C.K. Bharadwaj to share his thoughts with us. Please put your hands together and welcome with a round of applause Dr. C.K. Bharadwaj.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to talk to you. I would like to quote 7th chapter, 2nd shloka. Lord Krishna says that the knowledge has to be of a kind that after knowing, nothing remains to be known except living that knowledge and exploring it into your day-to-day life. Whereas Karat Sahab been working all his life to establish this peace university, and how to bring peace to the whole world is the dream, and trying to find out what we are, work on spirituality. So he really encouraged me to work on it. From the last so many years we've been working on it. My mother, she did genetic engineering. When she conceived me, she wanted that the child should work on science and spirituality. And something wonderful happened, and she been meditating on it. So we will touch up the point of meditation also here, that how we can really explain spirituality to the whole world, to make the whole world spiritual, peaceful. Because spirituality is the essence of all the religions, and spirituality is not a religion in itself. It's a unifying factor. So with the faculties here, we've been working to prove spirituality through science and logic without mentioning any religion. So if we can really do that for the whole world will come together. Now it's a new concept, of course, based on Indian knowledge system. Indian knowledge system developed with 88,000 Rishi Muni yogis. In the Vedic period, they developed all that. And now saints, which is this particular aspect of all the saints here, even I could see there was a board in the campus about Guru Nanak's place, and all the saints been here. So what really happened? That the saints condensed that huge knowledge of Vedas which you spend whole your life to understand, and you can't. You have to take birth many times to understand all that which is written in Vedas. But saints have really simplified it. What they said, the outer expression of your soul is your attention, which is like an omni scanner. And it is a capable force. It can see and act in all the directions even without your eyes. It is such a powerful area, this attention. So wherever the attention goes, the divine energy flows. This attention, when it passes through the layers of mind, the universal, causal, astral and physical, and through this body, it goes downwards and outwards into the world through the senses of the body. So this attention has to be withdrawn. If you focus it, it goes onto the body, which is a physical yoga. If you focus this attention onto the mind, you develop so many wonderful scientific developments, softwares, and all those scientific feats to go anywhere. Whereas the spiritual yoga is withdrawal of attention. If you can withdraw, because you are representing the absolute here. That's what my mother could tell me, that each one of us is divine, each soul is a divine. So what we did cosmic cognitive restructuring. to go beyond cognition. So what we have done is that the whole cosmos is one living entity. It has got three basics. One is floating material bodies made out of 100 and odd elements. Second is the gravitational magnetic fields which run the whole cosmos from Big Bang to black hole. We call it as universal mind, because this whole universe is embedded with information systems like 2G, 3G, 6G internet, radio communication, satellite communication, etc. It has got chemistry, physics, maths all in it. If the apple falls, the Newton calculates the laws of nature. Every action has got an equal and opposite reaction. So this is what is universal mind, floating material bodies. And the third thing is the energy which is energizing the field and each atom, because it's a living organism. The whole cosmos is a living entity. And I could understand from Dr. Karad, he was talking about the particle physics. And we could find out something wonderful, that that particle behaves intelligently. That double slit experiment proved that point, that the particle can become a wave or a particle anytime, anywhere. It's an intelligent behavior. The science was baffled to know this. So the creation is an intelligent design. Even a blade of grass is intelligently designed. So if we can really understand that intelligent being which is operating you here and now within your body, you are representing the absolute here. You are a creative intelligence. You acquired the mind and created the body from a single cell to the human form. Imagine. And this energy which is digesting your food, you are sleeping in the night, it is awake 24/7. It is with you. It is within you. And it had created such a wonderful machine here. Your eyes are much more complex than your brain. How it developed your heart and all other organs of your body. It is something wonderful to understand spirituality through science and logic with the initiative Karad Sahib has really started, and we've been working on it from many, many years. It is almost 32 years that we could find out each and every aspect of it. Once the karma theory comes in, how the universal mind runs your mind, you don't. Through high tide, low tide, as the seas go up and down, you have got 75-80% water in a body. That also gets affected. Once it goes up and down, it triggers certain components of your brain dealing with lust, anger, ego, attachment, deceit, fears, and worries. And this is what swings your moods. And if you know this, that somebody else is running your mind to settle your karma theory, you can understand. And then you can understand that you are three different fellows here, body, mind, and soul. How it has been done. Karad Sahib been today talking about to understand the brain and the heart and the mind. To understand this will definitely open up floodgates of knowledge, and how that knowledge really descends on you. Because all the saints, the knowledge has descended on them. Vedas have descended on them. Latest scientific theories descend on a person. Why not on each children? My country, all the students, we should open that floodgate through meditation by withdrawing the attention to that particular part of your body. Your attention from where it operates. Wonderful things. These two eyes are cameras. Two optical nerves run in the center of the head. And the picture is formed at the back. And where these two optical nerves meet, the ears are also there in that line. Saints have explained that part. That this is what is your third eye. If you withdraw your attention there, through Brahmarandra, it is connected to its source. A gush of knowledge appears through meditation, which flows out from the mind. The attitudes will change, and the behavior of the body will also change. Something wonderful. I think I have spoken a little more than the time which I was granted. Thank you very much. We will be interacting on it much later in a lot of things, because now this has to go to the UN. This concept, we are calling it as right to enlightenment and duty to get enlightened as a human right. 8 billion people must know this, because there are 16 major religions, 4,000 sects out of them. We are 8 billion people on this earth. Each person, as per the philosophy of that religion or sect he believes in, he develops his own philosophy. Then that philosophy develops the psychology of a person, and that psychology develops the behavior of a person. So we have come out with a new philosophy under his guidance, and I would like to tell you the name of the philosophy is Co-Aim Theory and Practice. Means correlation of your attention, which is the outer expression of the divine. That correlation with information. I means information, M means material. Material is your body, information is your mind, having 4 layers: universal, causal, astral, and physical, when it passes through. And what is the correlation with your material body? Of that attention, how it operates. It has got divine attributes. Because the body deals with hunger, clothes, housing, vanities of the world, sex and sleep. Whereas mind deals only with information, my dear. It is lust, anger, ego, attachment, deceit, fears and worries, which you are experiencing in this body. And the driver is your attention. Driver is the divine in you, which is your attention. That drives both of them. Mind and body don't have their own energies. They are being energized by your soul. And when it leaves, both of them are dead. So basically understanding spirituality, what it is, and how to connect, as saints have done it. They have condensed that knowledge into such a small area. Rabda ki pauna edro putna te edar lamna. It is so easy that you de-link your attention from body and mind, means from time and material, and link it to your source. A gush of knowledge will appear, and the things will change. So we are working for sustainable humane transformation, and I think Karat Saab's blessings to do this program will be something wonderful. We would like to teach it all over the world. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for giving a very, very different and interesting perspective of looking at things. Let's give him a big round of applause, my friends, once again, for his very, very important thoughts. My friends, it is indeed my honor and privilege to take this session forward and invite the chief guest of this session to address the gathering. But before I do that, it is indeed my honor and privilege that there is one small surprise for him before we ask him to share his thoughts. But before, I would like to request my technical team, if they can please give us a small introduction on the life and work of Padma Shri Dr. Pramod Kale before we go any further.
Padma Shri Dr. Pramod Kale is a distinguished Indian scientist and technologist known for his pioneering contributions to space science, electronics, and VLSI research. A former senior leader at ISRO, he played a key role in the development of India's early satellite and communication systems, including work associated with the SITE program and satellite technology applications. He currently serves as the Director of Integrated Circuit and Information Technology Private Limited and leads the VLSI Design and Research Center at the Department of Electronic Science, Savitribai Phule, Pune University, where he continues to mentor young researchers and advance cutting-edge innovation in integrated circuit design. A highly respected academician and visionary, Dr. Kale's contributions to science and technology have been widely recognized, earning him the prestigious Padma Shri from the Government of India. We warmly welcome Padma Shri Dr. Pramod Kale.
My friends, it is indeed our honor and privilege that we have such a tall personality on this stage of inaugural session of 30th Endowment Lecture Series. And on this auspicious occasion, we are going to confer the Lifetime Achievement Award on Honorable Padma Shri Dr. Pramod Kale. And it is indeed my, yes, let's give a big round of applause And it is my honor that I'm reading this citation of honor. The Lifetime Achievement Award, the Board of Directors, Trustees and Management of Dr. Vishwanath Karad, MIT World Peace University, Pune, Bharat, do hereby confer the Lifetime Achievement Award on Honorable Padma Shri Dr. Pramod Kale, former Director, Space Applications Center, ISRO, Ahmedabad, and former Director of Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, ISRO, Thiruvananthapuram, and India's resident representative of ISRO at the Goddard Space Flight Center, NASA, United States of America. On this day, Monday, 24th November 2025, in recognition of his significant contributions in the field of space science and technology. Signed, Executive President, MIT ADT University, Dr. Mangesh T. Karad, Founder President, MIT World Peace University, revered Professor Dr. Vishwanath D. Karad, and Executive President, MIT World Peace University, Dr. Rahul V. Karad. I request revered Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad, sir, to kindly confer the Lifetime Achievement Award on Honorable Padma Shri Dr. Pramod Kale ji. A big round of applause, my friends, on conferring the Lifetime Achievement Award on Honorable Padma Shri Dr. Pramod Kale ji. A big round of applause, and let us rise in our seats and give a standing ovation to Honorable Padma Shri Pramod Kale ji for his remarkable work in space science technology and taking India to new heights. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I now invite him to kindly address the gathering.
Good evening to all of you. I would like to share my thoughts with you today on the subject of the space science and peace. It has been a very long journey, and I hope you will listen to me carefully on some of the very specific aspects as to how we have come up to here. I certainly feel honored to be invited to share my thoughts on the topic, space science and peace. I had worked with the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, for over 32 years and had retired in 1994. I am still continuing to support our space effort in whatever the capacity I can. I am continuing to study the subject, space science, and enjoying it, particularly working with young students. Science is universal, while technology could be regional or national. Our knowledge is constantly growing because scientific information has been shared across national boundaries. Scientific principles are not patented. They are not intellectual property of any one particular person. Every researcher wants to publish and share the knowledge with all the other people. Earth is the cradle of humanity, but one cannot live in cradle forever. This is told by Konstantin Tsiolkovsky. His equation we are still using, hundreds of years have gone, and anything that is connected with generating force in space, any change in velocity, acceleration, whatever we try to do, we always use his equation. Almost every civilization has been fascinated by the ever-changing night sky, the sun, galaxies, stars, planets, moons, comets, meteorites, and they were being observed and studied. These studies had produced many theories about the planetary motions, and these theories also went deeper in understanding the beginning of the universe itself. The use of telescopes for studying astronomical observations was well known from the time of Galileo and Newton. Then came use of kites, balloons, and aeroplanes as platforms for observations. Observations and research was known. Use of rockets, which could carry instruments for scientific observations, opened up newer and exciting opportunities after 1948. Now, use of satellites for scientific observations have strengthened and expanded our knowledge after 1960. Outer space has always been characterized as mysterious, dangerous, hazardous, empty. There is vacuum, extreme temperatures, and yet exciting. People had imagined space travel, visit to the moon, visit to different planets. Many of those ideas are fructifying now. As a young student, I had read Marathi translation of Jules Verne's Journey to the Moon and Back. People had imagined space travel, but they had also thought about what can happen. Are we going to go there? Are we going to come back? How much time does it take to reach up to the Mars and then come back also? They had also imagined alien forms, alien life forms, and civilizations. Now, we are quite convinced that the evolution of the life form could have happened anywhere in the universe, but what we see today, the life forms on the Earth, these are the ones that are evolved here on the Earth. Even before, any large rockets were developed which could launch a satellite in orbit around the Earth. Arthur C. Clarke had envisioned in 1945 the use of communication satellites in geostationary orbit for direct-to-home television transmission. Now, 1945, the Second World War had just ended, and in October, if I'm not mistaken, 1945, in the magazine Wireless World, Arthur Clarke shared his ideas, his calculations. It became true in 1964 onwards. In the Second World War, Germany had used the V-2 rockets, and those were the first large rockets, but they were used for the war. While Arthur Clarke's idea was that yes, space can be used for its applications for the development. Applications of space technology for the betterment of life on the Earth has now become a reality. Looking at what was happening at that particular time, we should go back and think about it, how things started up. The sun is a very active star and is nearest to the Earth. It takes about 8.5 minutes or so for the sunlight to reach us from the sun. So anything that is happening on the sun is going to reflect on the Earth within a very, very short period of time. The activity on the surface of the sun, marked by the storms and coronal mass ejection, affects the atmosphere and the magnetic field of the Earth. And this effect, in those years, everybody was feeling because we were using simple radio communication, and radio communication would get interfered with or get affected by any activity that was happening on the sun. And we can also see the effect of the solar activity in the annual tree rings. If you take any tree and get a cross-section, you can see those rings, and you can also see that there is an 11-year cycle also which can be studied. These effects have been subject of scientific research and studies for a very long time. But the solar activity exhibits cyclic periodicity of 11 years. In 1957, the solar activity was expected to reach its maxima. To study and understand the global effects of the solar activity, a major international study and research obviously, program was undertaken. Almost all the countries had undertaken research efforts in areas of meteorology, upper atmosphere and ionosphere, astronomy, geomagnetism, solar and particulate cosmic radiation, and they shared that information. Whatever was observed in 1957 onwards was continuously being shared. In our country, the research was undertaken in a large number of universities, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai, and Physical Research Laboratory in Ahmedabad. USSR had launched the Sputnik, the first man-made satellite in orbit around the Earth on 4th of October 1957. That year, I was a student in inter-science in Ferguson College here in Pune, and after that event, I had decided that this is a subject that I would definitely like to study and take it up further, particularly the space science and applications of space technology. Later in 1960, I had joined the MSc Physics course in Gujarat University, Ahmedabad, and had simultaneously started my work at the Physical Research Laboratory, PRL, in Ahmedabad. The Indian National Committee for Space Research in COSPAR was formed in 1961, and it was decided that India would be setting up a rocket launching station close to the magnetic equator near Thiruvananthapuram. I was fortunate to be selected in November 1962 to be in the first team sent to Goddard Space Flight Center, NASA, for training in rocket launching. Our first rocket was successfully launched on 21st November 1963, and those were really the exciting times. Even in 1960, when I had joined with Physical Research Laboratory, one of the first tasks that was given to me was to set up a satellite tracking system. Very early, we had realized that space research requires international cooperation. Let me just share a simple thought. When a satellite launched by the USA in its orbit went below the equator on their side and was not within the range of their tracking stations, it would appear some 45 minutes later above the equator and could be tracked by a station located in India. And that's why a satellite tracking station was established in PRL in 1961. United Nations had very specifically recognized that the activities that are going to take up, particularly for the space-related things, because USSR had already launched the satellite, USA was following immediately, and United Nations Committee on Peaceful Uses of Outer Space was formed. This committee was formed in 1958, and there were 18 member countries in the beginning. India was definitely part of it right from the very beginning. As of last year, there are 104 members of this committee. When we set up the Thumba Equatorial Rocket Launching Station, TERLS, there were some objectives behind it. USA had large ships, they could carry some rockets and launch the rockets from anywhere, wherever they wanted. But any other country which wanted to do the experiments near the magnetic equator, there was no specific place where they could carry out such work. And Dr. Vikram Sarabhai had very specifically recognized that yes, in India we had that opportunity and we should really take a look at it. TERLS was ideal for such experiments. When we set it up, many countries were interested in international cooperation. USA had offered rockets, radar, telemetry reception, and Doppler tracking systems. USSR had offered a helicopter, computer, and vibration table for testing. Later, they had offered rockets also for meteorology, which was a very long-term program. France had offered the payload for the first rocket. Later, technology for making rockets was also offered by them. UK had offered their rockets. Germany and Japan wanted experiments to be done using their payloads. I remember Dr. Oda, who came from University of Tokyo, his experiments we had carried out, and Professor Itokawa from Japan. He was also there with us for some time, and he guided quite a large number of our people. In 1965, it was decided that there is going to be an international consortium for satellite communications, Intelsat. And in that treaty, India became part of it. But to study satellite communications, there was no facility. So an experimental satellite communication earth station was set up in Ahmedabad. And one of the main objectives of that particular place was that we will offer educational opportunities in satellite communications for people coming from any other developing country. On February 2, 1968, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, then Prime Minister of India, had dedicated the Thumba Equatorial Rocket Launching Station to the United Nations. And that is how the entire work was started up, taken up more, and it is still continuing after all these years. Right from the beginning, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, Professor Eknath Chitnis, and Professor P.R. Pisharoti were active in the UN Corpus meetings. They put forward our views, our entire ideas about not only international cooperation, but also how peaceful uses can be really carried out. Professor P.R. Pisharoti was a very good friend of mine and a good scholar for all the Sanskrit-related things. He had invoked the Sandhya Vandan Prarthana, Samudra Vasane Devi, Parvatastana Mandale, Vishnu Patni, Namastubhyam, Padasparsham, Kshamasvave. What was happening to the climate? What was happening onto the earth? Are we really doing something which is really terrible, which is irreversible? And we have to really understand it and then take steps. And that is how he started this discussion. And he had explained the Indian ethos to the members attending the meeting. Only through these simple 2 lines he explained the Indian ethos. In 1969, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai had unveiled our space technology applications-based space program in a decade profile for atomic energy and space. And every 10 years, we have been continuing updating the decade profile. Dr. Sarabhai's idea was that everybody should really know what we were doing and what we were going to do in the next 10 years. This thing should be known to the parliament, to the politicians, to the industry, to the common people and the students. Now, space science research has gone to various areas: astronomy, visible, infrared, ultraviolet, and radio, astrophysics or aeronomy. The results which were obtained from the orbiting astronomical observatory earlier or the orbiting solar observatory NASA had shared those results with everybody. Later on, they started sharing the results from various other satellites also. All of you are familiar with what happened with the Hubble telescope or the James Webb telescope. In the same way, India is sharing the results which we were obtaining from our AstroSat and Aditya mission, and now the NISAR mission also. Geomagnetism, interplanetary magnetic fields, planets and planetary atmospheres. We try to understand what has happened on Mars. The reason to study is that a danger that we will face on Earth someday? The work that was carried out for the Chandrayaan mission also indicated for the first time that we were able to confirm that there is presence of water on the moon. The Earth observations program, which was undertaken from 1970-71 onwards, was really very, very far-reaching program for meteorology, both in visible and infrared. Our first communication satellite, INSAT, of which I was the project director for that almost 7-8 years or so, we had a meteorological camera which is taking pictures of the Earth. Every day we take about 20 such pictures and we share them all across. And this has been going on since 1983 onwards. Every day, all of you should be able to see it, and it is shared globally. It is connected with the ocean and ice monitoring, mapping the Earth. There are definitely reconnaissance and surveillance satellites. But it's very surprising, later on when I was studying at that time, we were looking at the definitions by the United Nations also, that reconnaissance and surveillance was not considered as an offensive activity, neither defensive, but basically it is an activity which will prevent any further war. Yeah, okay. The space communications were taken up by Dr. Arthur Clarke's idea, and later on we started actually working on it, and this year we completed 50 years since our first satellite communication system, particularly for getting the education through television for all the villages in our country we had started. This year we also completed 50 years since we launched our first Aryabhatta, the scientific satellite also. We have got television and radio broadcasting, mobile communications, data collection and dissemination. From unattended platforms we get the data. A very specific cyclone disaster warning system has been established by us. There is a very specific humanitarian system which is going all across the world, and that is for the search and rescue, satellite-aided tracking. Beacons are carried by aircraft, beacons are carried by ships, they are carried by even the people who go through adventure sports. So in case of an accident, that beacon gets activated and we can locate where the accident has taken place. The presence of cosmonauts and astronauts in space have demonstrated that human presence can make significant difference in space operations. We are learning more and more about life and living in space. Our Gaganyaan and Bharatiya Space Station program will give us newer insights. In 1968, Buckminster Fuller, a very well-known architect from Chicago, had reminded us that we are all astronauts moving in space. He had said that, why are we saying that there are these astronauts who are going in space? He started saying that we are all astronauts. We are also moving in space. We are moving at a speed of 31 kilometers per second going around the sun. Now, an astronaut is trained to live within the available means which they have carried with them. At least on Earth, we get from outside only one thing, and that is the solar energy. Other than that, we don't get anything. So we have to start understanding as to how we are going to be able to live on this Earth, and thinking has to be that we, as if as an astronaut, that we have to function. In 2003, when President APJ Abdul Kalam had come here in Pune at one of the meetings at IUCAM. A young student had asked about his age. He said, I can't tell you my age, but I am in the 73rd orbit around the sun. That was the philosophy with which one has to really start thinking about. These are the references. I strongly believe that in the last 65 years or so, space science research has followed the path of international cooperation and peaceful uses of outer space. I certainly hope we will continue to do so in the future. Space science research has vast scope and newer avenues will develop in future. I certainly would like to thank Dr. Karad and his colleagues for inviting me here and let me share my views and experience with all of you. And also, a surprise, thank you very much. Let me end this with a thought from Dalai Lama. Today, more than ever before, life must be characterized by a sense of universal responsibility, not only nation to nation and human to human, but also human to other forms of life. Thank you.
Let's give a bigger round of applause, my friends. Thank you very much, Padma Shri Dr. Pramod Kaleji, for sharing your words of wisdom and pearls of knowledge, I would say, for which you have gathered over a period of last so many decades. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. It was indeed a delight to listen to your views. My friends, I'm sure you all are aware that revered Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir has, I would say, invested all of his lifetime in spreading the message of peace, brotherhood, and humanity. I'm glad to share with you that just a few days back, a grand ceremony took place wherein in the native village of revered Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir, Rameshwar Rui, Vishwadharmi Manavta Tirtha Bhavan was inaugurated, and it was a beautiful, beautiful gathering and event. Of course, it's difficult to share such a beautiful gathering in words, so I'm going to take help of technology. I'm going to share with you some of the glimpses of the Vishwadharmi Manavta Tirtha Bhavan inauguration ceremony.
संतांचे विचार आहेत की सगळ्या या धर्मगुरूंचे विचार आहेत, सगळ्यांनी एकच संदेश दिलेला आहे, मानवतेचा संदेश. या संदेशाला जे म्हणतोय आम्ही त्याच्यामध्ये आमचा पूर्ण विश्वास आहे हे दाखवण्यासाठी या मानवता तीर्थाची उभारणी केली असं मला वाटतं.
लोकतंत्र, खेलकूद की बात और अध्यात्म की बात, ये तीनों चीजों का मैसेज इस पर्टिकुलर हॉल से हमें पूरे विश्व में हम कैसे फैला सकते हैं, इसके बारे में हम सब लोग आके विचार करें.
दिसता है कि एक भारत एक विच्छ देश उच्च संस्कृती म्हणून समोर येईल. आणि याचे प्रत्यक्ष उदाहरण आपल्यासमोर आज कराड सरांनी आपल्यासमोर मांडलेलं आहे. मला फार आनंद होत आहे की हे देश भारतातून जगासमोर येत आहे.
बाबूजी के मैं अगर उनके साथ रहता उस समय तो मैं कहता कि आपने नारा दिया जय जवान जय किसान, और मैं आज उस नारे को बढ़ाता हूँ जय जवान जय किसान जय इंसान. मैंने अगर इंसान को देखा है आज तो हमारे कराड जी हैं.
मानव धर्माच्या स्थापनेचं हे संबंध पवित्र तीर्थक्षेत्र या वास्तूमध्ये निर्माण झालंय. ही वास्तू केवळ वास्तू नाही, एका उदात्त ध्येयवादाची ही संबंध मूर्तमेढ आहे. भारत के प्रधानमंत्री के नारा को कोई चरितार्थ किया तो उनका नाम है डॉक्टर विश्वनाथ कराड़. इन्होंने समाज के हर वर्ग के लोगों को मिलाकर जाति पाति भेदभाव छुआछूत ऊंच नीच इन सब भावनाओं से ऊपर हटकर समाज के हर वर्ग के लोगों को जोड़ने का काम किया है. हम लोग चाहते हैं कि डॉक्टर विश्वनाथ कराड़ को भी भारत रत्न की उपाधि दी जाए.
प्रोफेसर कराड सरांविषयी बोलताना माझ्या मनात एकच प्रतिमा उभी राहते. स्वप्न पाहणारा आणि तो प्रत्यक्षात तसंच जगणारा. ते फक्त इमारती बांधत नाही, ते मूल्यांची वास्तू उभारतात. ते फक्त अभ्यासक्रम देत नाही तर जीवनक्रम घडवतात. कोणतंही स्मारक म्हणून उभं राहू शकतं, पण प्रोफेसर कराड उभारत असलेला हे स्मारक विचारांचं विश्वविद्यालय आहे, जिथे वसुदैव कुटुंबकम ही केवळ शिळेवरची ओढ नाही तर रोज जगण्यात उतरवायचं तत्व आहे.
भारत देश हीच खरी याची प्रतिमा आहे. भारतीय संस्कृती, भारतीय परंपरा आणि भारतीय चिंतन हे या ठिकाणाहून जगाला पोचवण्याकरता जे चित्र लावलेली आहेत त्या ठिकाणी फोटो, ते मोठ्या माणसांनी जरूर बघावे आणि याचं अनुकरण व्हावं अशी मनातली एक भावना आहे. महात्मा गांधींच्या स्वप्नातील भारत हे लक्षात ठेवायचं आणि त्याचं हे रूप आहे. भारत विश्वगुरू व्हावा ही जी कल्पना आहे, आपण किती सहिष्णू असावं, निर्मळ असावं, आपण किती निस्वार्थी असावं, निगर्वी असावं, अहंकाराचा वारा न लागो राजस, एकच शब्द आहे.
सर्वात उच्च धर्म कोणता आहे तर तो मानवता धर्म आहे आणि मनुष्याने मनुष्याला मनुष्यासारखं वागवणं महत्त्वाचं आहे. त्याकरिता सरांनी हे मानवता तीर्थ इथं बांधलं आहे असं मला वाटतं.
Let's give a big round of applause, my friends, to this magnificent, I would say, creation of revered Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir. And now I would like to request him to kindly address the gathering.
आभारी हूँ डॉक्टर प्रमोद काले सर, हमारे दूसरे मेहमान भारद्वाज जी और आप सभी के लिए. मुझे याद आती है in the year 1996, which was the 700th anniversary of Sanjeevan Samadhi of Dnyaneshwara, and the very first parliament of science, religion and philosophy. Normally men of science, men of religion and men of philosophy, they never came together on the common platform before. But fortunately we had the first time, and the occasion was so beautiful and it was Sant Dnyaneshwara, the philosopher Sant Dnyaneshwara. I still remember Vijay Bhatkar and myself, we had been sitting in my room and discussing, and we had decided that we will install a philosopher Sant Dnyaneshwara World Peace Prize without knowing what will be the journey for and what will be the pathway. I can only tell you that time I am reminded of Dr. famous mathematician Narlikar. And I had gone to request him to write a small brief article. And Jain Narlikar, great mathematician of India, Hoyle Narlikar theory, you might be remembering. And when I went to him, he said, I really do not understand what it stands for. मैं बोला सर लिखिए तो सही, अभी भी मेरे पास है. The subject was in quest of universal peace. मुझे अभी भी याद है कि वो शब्द, उनका आर्टिकल मैंने जतन करके रखा है. And I still remember when I met Mr. Vijay Bhatkar himself and this Surendra Barlinge, who was one of the great philosophers who became the guide for me. He was an atheist. I am a firm believer in the concept of God or the Almighty God. And when Barlinge said, I don't believe in God at all. Where is God? What is God? What is the meaning of that ultimate reality, the ultimate truth? I said, sir, you may be, but I am not a believer, but I am a firm believer. And he became my guru. He became my teacher. लंबी कहानी है भाई, लेकिन आज स्पेशली प्रमोद काले साहब के मुख से जब सुना और जो उच्चारण हुआ स्पेस के बारे में, and I still remember the booklet which was published. It's called as the In Quest of Universal Peace. मुझे ऐसे लगा काले साहब, when you speak about peace and space, whether it matches each other. The moment, if you really stand still and if you want to experience peace, possibly it creates a space within. That has been my first feeling. And Kalesa, we will not possibly believe, but it was Dr. Barlinge's mission. And I had the first Parliament of Science, Religion and Philosophy in the year 1996, on the occasion of the 700th anniversary of Sanjeevan Samadhi of Dnyaneshwara. पता नहीं, लेकिन भगवद गीता या ज्ञानेश्वरी का कंटेंट जो देखा तो उसका चिंतन इतना डीप है. And then I still remember about 30 years back, 30 years, philosopher Sant Dnyaneshwara to Albert Einstein was the write-up. And that article I wrote that time, about 30 years back, not knowing whether I'm right or wrong. I'm an engineer, I do understand engineering, but I do understand also the philosophy of life itself. जीवन का जो दिशा है, और यही हॉल है कि सुबह 7 दिन का फिलोसोफर्स कॉन्फ्रेंस है, 7 days. The philosophers conference in the name of Dnyaneshwara. पेंडोल डालना बाहर चालू है और इसी हॉल में सब वो प्लास्टर, laying down the floor, रात 4:30 बजे का टाइम है. और मैं पता नहीं 700 delegates from China to Russia to America to all the countries of the whole world, and Maulana Wahiduddin Khan from Delhi, a very good Islamic scholar. And the people like him. From China, the people came, and it was a very typical way that I had said, I'm being a vegetarian, I said no non-veg, no liquor, no meat, pure vegetarian. The people said, how can you do it? And I still remember the Chinese delegates met me here. E.C.G. Sudarshan was there that time, if you remember him. E.C.G. Sudarshan, who was due for the Nobel laureate at that time. So many things are reminding me again how this journey is and how today I'm meeting Mr. Pramod Kaleji and my brother Bharadwaj. And we are discussing here on peace. And when I said to you, it was Maulana Wahiduddin Khan who concluded the session, the first parliament, not in the hall but on the ground. 700 delegates came from the whole world, and it was Dr. Abbas from America who was given the first prize for knowing and writing something very unique, theme and a principle to promote culture of peace in the world. And he was given the highest ovation and the first rank to Mr. Dr. Abbas. See the journey. And today when we are discussing about this very theme, see today the greatest nations of the world, America, Russia, China, or even in India, and the chaos and the confusion going on in the whole world. Are we, you know the Middle East, what is going on? America and Russia, the presidents are meeting at Alaska to decide your future and my future, even the future of Mr. Kale Sahab. Just see the fun. They are deciding the future, discussing there, waiting for each other, and the whole world is under chaos, confusion, bloodshed, massacre, terrorism, and horrifying violence. Whole world. And we are discussing here on world peace. But whether we are on the right path, I sincerely feel that this very hall, which is called as a knowledge-based society, और ज्ञानेश्वर के नाम पे है, तुकाराम के नाम पे सीरीज चल रही है, और यहाँ चिंतन कर रहे समझो 200 लोग होंगे under the guidance of Mr. Pramod Kale sir and my Vice Chancellor and Bharadwaj, but with a passion and fire in the belly for doing something for the good of the society. Promotion of peace. मुझे अभी याद आती है कि when the first conference was held in the year 1996, 1998 we had the second parliament in Switzerland. Mad थे, पागल थे, 300 लोग दौड़े, करण सिंह साहब थे, मशालकर थे, भटकर थे, सभी लोग थे, और सब पागल लोग, पैसे नहीं थे ज़रा, लेकिन इन सब को लेके स्विट्ज़रलैंड जाकर वहाँ परिषद हुई 3 दिन की. मुरली मनोहर जोशी साहब थे, वो हमारे चेयरमैन थे उसके लिए. बट वहाँ से अभी तक ये 30वां साल चल रहा है सारा, लेकिन चिंतन जारी है और प्रयास जारी है. Whether what I can do and what I can contribute to minimize the chaos, confusion, bloodshed and massacre, होगा क्या नहीं पता नहीं. लेकिन अभी अभी जो आपको पिक्चर दिखाया छोटा सा, मानवता तीर्थ. मेरा गांव बहुत छोटा है, हार्डली अबाउट 2000 पॉपुलेशन. वहाँ राम मंदिर है, बुद्ध विहार है, मस्जिद और जैनुद्दीन दरगाह है, राम रहीम सेतु है और मानवता तीर्थ भी है। ये कौन बनाया, किसने बनाया, कहाँ से पैसा आया, कौन देता है सारा, लेकिन सद्बुद्धि देना यही एक परमेश्वर को प्रार्थना होती है। सद्बुद्धि देना बा ईश्वर, और मुझे दूसरों के बारे में बुरा ख्याल नहीं आने का, इतना तो कर सकते हैं। ये संस्था वर्ल्ड पीस यूनिवर्सिटी, our university, about 5-6 universities are there, but we are trying to make them and try to learn, understand from काले साहब और हमारे भारद्वाज साहब से मुख से जो सुना, मुझे बहुत खुशी है। इस पर चर्चा करते करते आज तक ये जो जर्नी है ये मानवता का मार्ग है, टुवर्ड द ह्यूमैनिटी। जाति पाति बाकी सारा प्रयास जो है वो अलग है, लेकिन द बॉडी एंड द ब्रेन, द सोल, द स्पिरिट एंड द माइंड, मन बड़ा चंचल है, आत्मा स्थिर है, नाश नहीं होता है, जलता नहीं है, भीगता नहीं है। You know it very well, you are all engineers and scientists, but this is what I have been trying to understand myself, कि भाई ये क्या हुआ, ये मानवता तीर्थ बना। The biggest, you will not believe it possibly, but जो मानवता तीर्थ बना है रामेश्वर में, जो आप लोग आए थे, कोई लोग, आपने देखा होगा, one single span of 90 feet, single span, 90 feet, और 250 फीट लंबा है। दुनिया में गूगल पे देखो, जहाँ हमारे कोई दोस्त होंगे विषय वगैरह, इट इज़ टोल्ड बाय सम पीपल, द ग्रेट साइंटिस्ट, थ्रू गूगल और फेसबुक और एआई से माध्यम से, कि इट इज़ वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट इन द होल वर्ल्ड। नो बीम, नो। और क्या बना है? मानवता तीर्थ बना है, मानवता की पूजा है, मानवता का सही माने में अर्थ दुनिया के सामने रखने का प्रयास है, छोटा सा, और बन गया। ये डोम बना, ये संत ज्ञानेश्वर के नाम पे है। नॉलेज बेस्ड सोसाइटी इज द मेन इशू। ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयो, वही ज्ञानेश्वर का संदेश है। और ये जो सीरीज है ज्ञानेश्वर तुकाराम महाराज के नाम पे, ये बड़ी लंबी कहानी है भाई। इसमें तो इतना सुंदर, फ्रॉम संत ज्ञानेश्वर टू अल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन, ये कोई मजे की बात नहीं। देखो, पढ़ो, विश्वास करो। मातृदेवो भव, पितृदेवो भव, आचार्य देवो भव। Very simple words. I repeat the same thing again and again, but I sincerely feel that a few of us, if we can devote our life and contribute to the well-being of the society and the nation and the whole world, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Thank you. Pranam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your words of wisdom. You have always been our Preranalay and our guiding light. My friends, I would like to take this opportunity to share with you all that from tomorrow, we are going to meet every day in the morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. for the yoga sessions. That is from 25th of November to 29th of November, every day from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Then after that, the first session of the day will happen at 8:45 a.m., followed by another session at 10:30 a.m. And last session of the day would be happening every day at 4 p.m. in this very hall. Tomorrow's first session is by the eminent poet, writer and orator and the motivational speaker, Dr. Sanjay Upadhyay ji. And the theme is Me Maze Hatta Ani Mana Shanti. So I would like to invite all of you to join us every day in this life-enriching, I would say, journey of Saint Shree Dnyaneshwara and Saint Shree Tukaram Endowment Lecture Series. Before we conclude this session today, I would like to invite on stage the Registrar of MAIR, Dr. Ratnadeep Joshi ji, to kindly propose the vote of thanks. A very good evening to all the delegates and the dignitaries on the dais here at MITES MIT Group of Institutions, Dr. Vishwanath Karad, MIT World Peace University, for the 30th Endowment Series lecture that has been inaugurated today. Yantra Tantradi Vidyanam Loka Kalyana Sadhanam. With this Bija Mantra, we started a journey in 1983. The profound journey initiated through mesmerizing structures and a value-based universal education. And today we reached in its 43 years, where when we look back, we find that many human-centric educational approaches have been incorporated, and we, the teachers, who are the pillars of this university education, who are guiding spirits for the students, and through us being the ambassadors of peace and humanity, where we reach this message to hundreds and thousands. This guiding series of Sant Dnyaneshwara Sant Tukaram Vyakyanmala series has been profoundly giving us various dignitaries with their knowledge sharings. Today, honorable dignitaries have inaugurated the 30th session of this Jnana Yajna, the Jnana Vidnyan Adhyatmik series that has been initiated by Honorable Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir. Today we have with us Honorable Shree Bharadwaj ji. You know, the Shubhadarshan of Bharadwaj is always auspicious, and he is the maestro for this event today. We thank you for being here and crafting a time for all of us to show about the pathway towards humanity. Today it's Vinayak Chaturthi, Shri Ganesh ji, and Honorable Padma Shri Dr. Pramod Kaleji with his Amod, the favorite cuisine of Shri Ganesh ji, is here. And I think that is what the blessings of Shri Ganesh ji at the initiation and start of the program of this endowment series is here. We thank you, Padma Shri Dr. Pramod Kaleji, for being here. Honorable Executive President and Managing Trustee Dr. Rahul Karad sir, being into the transformation journey, who is bringing here about various dignitaries today being in travel. However, although he is little away from the campus, has been keen enough to ensure that the facilitation and the way Honorable Dr. Karad sir says, Atithi Devo Bhava, must be ensured on the program. I'm thankful to him, and we express gratitude to him for his keen support. Today we have Honorable Managing Committee President of MIRE and Executive President of MIT ADT University, Professor Dr. Mangesh Karad sir here, who blessed this occasion and is a guiding spirit for all of us, who has seen the mesmerizing journey of the MIT coming into with the now 6 universities and more than 60 institutions today. I'm thankful to Dr. Mangesh Karad sir. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Chitnis sir, the Registrar, Shri Pokreji, the Associate Dean that we have for Peace, Dr. Milind Patreji, even today is not on the dais, however, who always keeps on giving us the guidance, Dr. Milind Pandeji, Pro Vice Chancellor of University. They have all helped along with the staff and students. Nishitva yaha prakramayet Nant vasati karmanaha avandya kalo vashatma sa vai panditaha. The one who follows his words with dedication doesn't stop until the intended work is accomplished. Instead of sarcasm, spends time for creating the good and has a great control over speech, thoughts, and responsibilities, is a real knowledge divine, the real Pandit. And all of us, we know that our Kutumba Palak, Honorable Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir, the guiding beacon for all of us, is here. Let's applaud for him that until the work is accomplished, he has continuously been on the fulfillment of and ensuring the quality of the work. More than a month he was staying at the Manavata Tirth Bhavan that you have mesmerizingly witnessed right now, which is the AI today, the artificial intelligence says that there is no other such monument exists on this earth the whole Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which equals this hall, the Manavata Tirtha Bhavan, that has been recently dedicated by Honorable Sri Sunil Shastriji. The dedication that he has given as a beacon light, I think it's inspiring, and all of us should take the inspirations all the time from him. And I am sure that the next sessions of the 30th Endowment series, where we would be getting the knowledge divine from various speakers, Professor Bapat sir has already enlisted about those guests who are coming since tomorrow morning. The first session starting with the yoga, because we would like to have the physical fitness among all of us, which will indeed inculcate the mental removal of mental stress and ensure about the subtle nature of the human body. Let's participate and ensure that we all be a part of this journey. The 30th session should be a wonderful session that comes in. Today we have delegates from Japan here, various countries. We extend a warm welcome, sir. And I'm sure that as usual, like every year, there would be different delegates who would be coming for this conference from different cities of the state as well as the nation. We extend a warm welcome to you, as well as express our gratitude for being here for this very session. And on the Honorable Deans, Directors of the University, Honorable Profound Teachers who have graced this occasion of the inauguration session of the 30th Endowment Series, we express gratitude towards you. Today we have many representatives from the print media as well as digital media. We thank you all for being here and supporting us. I hope all of you are keeping the news, and this year almost every newspaper as well as digital media has given a profound publicity for the work that we are actually working, or rather would like to share to the people. These sessions are open to all, and that's how let us spread the message to each one of us, the neighbors or the societies where we stay, and please ask them to come here, participate in this Jnana Yajna and get benefited themselves. So I express my gratitude to all of them and all those who shall be here for the next 7 days. The commemoration of the 1996 the World Peace Parliament, Honorable Karat sir just referred, and we take the onus on us that we will make this a very successful 30th Endowment Lecture Series. With that, I thank you all and wish you all the best for the next 7 days. Thank you.
बोलते दे ज्ञान देव